I now call the Powhatan County Planning Commission meeting to order. Mr. Van Gelder will lead us in the invocation.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance and direction in our collective effort to be good stewards of the public trust, make fair and wise decisions, and to keep Powhatan a wonderful place to live and work. We say this in your name. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Need to approve the May 3rd commission meeting minutes. Do you all have any questions or amendments on the meeting minutes?
We do have one amendment.
Okay.
On page 3, we need to note that Mr. Walker voted, not Mr. voted, on,
Okay.
under the substantial accord determination.
Okay. I move we approve the May 3rd meeting
might be a-
minutes as amended.
Acronym, noted.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Administrative items, anything to note?
Yes, ma'am. If you've gone and looked at your monthly report, we are tracking from a building perspective close to last year with regard to April of this year comparison year to date. So we've had 153 building permits so far year to date in the fiscal year, 152 last year. We had 34 just in April alone. But what's interesting is the dollar amount that's on page 1. I just wanted to point that out. So we're getting a little bit more valuable house that's being constructed this year as compared to last. So that's kind of a little bit of an interesting note, and look where we are as far as a dollar figure with fees year to date. So I would say that while we haven't had a great number of new subdivision requests, certainly we are seeing development activity and going back and infilling the existing lots that we know that are out there. So if someone asks, we are experiencing housing growth in the county. So I just wanted to point that out for you. Also wanted to update you on the board's actions at their May 23rd meeting. The board voted to deny the Hancock Road, the Manage This LLC rezoning request 4-0 with 1 abstention. They also approved the county's request to rezone the property for the school bus garage and upheld the Planning Commission's determination of substantial accord. So those items were taken that evening. Those are all I have as far as an activity report. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I do have, as we talked, an amendment to the agenda.
Okay. All right, any questions? All right. The amended agenda is that we are going to not discuss the large lot development, but just the comp plan tonight.
Yes.
So I don't need to make a motion or anything. I just need to mention that it's amended, correct? Okay. If that's it, we'll move on to the public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak on anything that is not on tonight's agenda, please come forward and state your name for the record. Seeing there is no one, I will close the public comment period. I don't think we have any presentations, so we'll move into our public hearings.
Yes, ma'am. The first public hearing you have on your agenda this evening is a request from Andrews and Fine Creek Building Company, which is Reeves J. Hankins, requesting an amendment of the proffer statement for Oakland Estate subdivision, which was case 0603 REZC, specifically proffer 3 to reduce the cash proffer amount from $7,236 to $1,880 and amend the zoning map accordingly. The reduction in the proffer, as we've discussed with other cases, is in line with the board's current policy regarding cash proffers. And I did want to let you know that with the reduction, the county would see approximately $35,000 less in cash proffers as a result of if the reduction is approved by the board.
Say that again?
Approximately $35,000 less in proffers based with the reduction. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
If there's any questions regarding the request, they are requesting, in this instance, the total property is about 51 acres, but only 5 lots are part of the 5 remaining lots are part of the request, and there is one house located, I believe it is on lot 5. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding their request.
Okay. Well, why don't we first have the public hearing on this? And Anyone wishing to speak on this case, please come forward and state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is Thomas Tonks. I live at 1828 Oakland Estates Drive in this property. And I'd like to talk about it. I'm not sure where to start, but
Okay, move the mic up just a little bit so I can
Okay.
hear you. There, thank you.
all right, Oakland Estates has 10 lots. 3 of them are not developed right now. So I don't know where all these lots come in that you guys are talking about. There's 6 houses there now. 1 lot Leslie bought, and she can put a house on it anytime she wants, and I don't think they should charge her any profit. But the builders, and I want to talk about not just the builders of my area, but the builders around the county. We're having all kinds of problems. I want to thank Bill Melton and Ed and Nancy, who work with you guys, for helping me out with all of this. I got a letter requesting this change on May 25th. I'll be honest and let you know, I didn't know what a proffer was. It was an article in the paper, I looked it up, I read about it, I got some information from Tom, the county attorney, I got a lot of information from Bill, and I got information from you folks. I moved to my house December of 2009, and as far as I'm concerned, when I paid for that house, I paid for the proffer. Now, I know the builders say they pay for that, but they don't. Unless they're not looking to make money. The VDOT road would be coming in soon, I was told. On my street, 1 child went to high school and is out and has already got jobs. 2 are in grammar school, and 1 of them's now going into middle school. All this time, no school bus would come down our street because VDOT never took it over. The snow plowing, the road maintenance is haphazard, and the drainage on the road still is breeding mosquitoes because none of it's been done properly. Bill Melton helped us last year, and the planning department did a lot of research on the builders in our community, and a lot of bonds were either not complete, and many bonds are not up to date to fix these roads when the people go belly up. One of them, I guess, last year you had one where fortunately the person given the bid actually met the bond so that they could help the county get this thing fixed. I understand Virginia is removing some of these proffers, but I'm looking at now and going back, not now and going forward. Builders are between a rock and a hard place because the economy's been really bad. But inflation's been going on with these roads, and the price of doing a new road is even higher than what it was back in 2006. I noticed that the new Bull Road building, I have what looks like, I made copies, but I don't think we need them, the meetings of the supervisors. In June of 15, August of 15, the proffer looks like it was going to go to 2,911. Then the proffer went down when they reduced the school buses and they reduced other items because of the multiplications involved in the proffer. And I'm sure you guys know way more about that than I do, and I know too much now that I didn't want to know before I started. However, road and transportation improvements was left out of our proffer, and so was community centers and other things I know we're working on here. The proffer for our area is way lower than it is in all the other counties around us. I've been waiting 10 years for, well, not 10 years, but the property has been there for 10 years that was built. And 2 of us who live on the street now are war veterans, and we've been waiting long enough for our street to get done. But specifically Lot 6 that you're talking about, that has a $7,236 proffer, according to the sheets I have here, had a permit issued on 3/23/16. And it said that that proffer is supposed to be paid when the permit is issued. I wonder, was it, or was even $1,800 paid? The permit number is 552016. And the lots in questions, like I said, is lot 6, 7, and 10. I don't understand why Leslie's on here. She owns a lot there that she bought from the builder. She had nothing to do with the roads getting done. She has nothing to do with any of these other problems we're having. I'm asking for a delay in this because I want to go to the supervisors meeting and talk to Melton and all the rest of them and ask them why this is so confusing, why this has been changed so many times, and why we're different than all the surrounding counties. I understand it has to do with the plan, but is our plan so much different? Is there a reason why we left out these other items that could have been in our plan to figure this out? Why do school buses go from 100% covered down to 25% covered? Why does the fire department and all their equipment that they had, why is that percentage changed? Why did it go from 2,000 and something? I don't know why it went from 7 to 2, but why is it now going to 18? So I'm trying to figure it all out, and I would like some kind of a commitment from the builders through you folks to finish what they started when they put these roads in that never get finished. I'm just a voter and a person who lives in this county. I know I don't have the strength of a whole bunch of builders who supposedly can't sell a house because they got to pay a couple $1,000s more on the proffer. But would they pass it on to the people buying the house? I moved here because my grandchildren live here. I didn't move here to say, what is the proffer? I didn't even know we had one. You move, I think most people move to Pate because they want a nice rural life and they want to live in a community like this. But I want somebody to help me get some kind of a commitment to at least get our roads done when we were promised many, many years ago. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record. And if you could try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, that would be appreciated.
My name is Claude Paterno. I live at 1859 Oakland Estates. My house was built by Jeff Hankins. And talking about the housing value going up, I've got $390,000 in my house, and it's only appraised now at $274. And I don't know about the price of houses going up, and I was told when I bought mine, which was before Tom bought his, that the road was going to be resurfaced. And I myself, up until last year or so, my tractor did all the snow removal on that road with no help from Jeff Hankins. And it's not enforcing the current covenants as we're supposed to have on that street, because to keep the houses all equal, I had to pay $3,000 for a chain link fence in the backyard where some neighbors down the road got 4x4s and chicken wire around their backyard. And it's been asked, and that's never got fixed. So I don't think he should have any special exemption because he's not holding up his end of the bargain. And like him, like Tom, I was told that that road was supposed to be paved. Now it's deteriorating to the point where it's going to cost even more to get it paved, and don't have any county service. We had to beg for the post office to come down there, and I kept the road cleared so we could even get the mail when the road was icy and snowed. And I don't think he should have any special exemption for this.
Thank you, sir. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Jeff Hankins, and I'm with Fine Creek Building Company. I hear their concerns, and I feel they are legitimate. In 2009, the market crashed, and my plan was to get this subdivision finished and done way before now. I have done my best to keep it above float without turning it over to the banks. The banks called my note. I mortgaged everything to keep it. Mr. Paterno has kept some of the roads up. He asked me for some money. I did pay him for some fuel and stuff at times. I probably could have done a little better job at the maintenance. I have some other issues with restrictions that really doesn't pertain to the case with the proper reductions. The proper reductions are, the proffers are paid, they used to be paid at the time of the building permit. Now they're being paid at the time of the certificate of occupancy. So that changed over the last couple of years.
Can you say that again?
The proffers are paid, they used to be paid at the time the building permit is issued, but now they're being paid at the time of the certificate of occupancy at the end of the, so. And the lot that Mr. Tonks is talking about is Lot 5. There is a house going on there currently, and there is 5 lots, including Lot 5. That includes Miss Andrews, and I contacted Miss Andrews and asked her if she was willing to participate in this this application for proper reductions, and she said yes. And because she does own a lot, and if she ever builds on it, she would have to pay the proffers if she isn't part of the application. So I have made some progress as far as trying to get the roads done. I have talked to a paving company. The roads are in fair condition. It would cost about $28,000 to do the road. The proffer reduction, the current proffer is not 72. It was originally, but the escalator clause has got it up to about $8,900, which would give me about a $7,000 savings if it goes down to $1,800. That amount of money in the 4 lots that I own in there would pay for the paving. I have been in front of the board supervisors and been here before speaking in favor of the proper reductions, and my whole intent was to fulfill my commitment in Oklahoma Estates and get the roads paved. As it was spoke earlier, when he gave a report on the building permits and the value of the houses, it has taken a while for Powhatan to get to a place where the size houses that we need to build in there are getting where the market has improved. That's why I've started one this spring, and so I would like the Planning Commission to approve or to recommend approval on the proper reduction. It would benefit me in my efforts as far as trying to complete this project. If I was going to give up on this project, I would have done it in '09, and it's been a thorn in my side as well. I've been paying interest on it for a long time. So my commitment is to finish it. I don't have a time frame, but I would like to do that as well as anybody else. So thanks for listening.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, I can't allow it. Okay, yeah, I can't address it. Anyone else wishing to speak? All right, seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Okay, Mr. Cox, this is in your district. I don't know if you would like to lead with any questions or concerns?
First of all, the road and the paving of the road is a separate issue from the proper issue. The county has an ordinance that covers paving of a road with time and bond. Mr. Altman, could you bring us up to date on what the ordinance says?
Well, our ordinance required it to be paid well within a time frame. However, the state.
Is it 2 years?
Yes, but the state, and I can't remember what year it was, essentially pushed a grandfather out till 2017 in reaction to the downturn in the economy. So everyone has until 17 to kind of get everything together, and that is, and I say that if the state doesn't push it out a little bit further.
How does the state dovetail with our ordinance?
I wish I had the language in front of me.
I'm sorry.
Well, what they did was overall they passed provision in the state code to extend everyone's period.
Does it override our?
Yes.
Okay, okay, sorry. That was really what I was getting at.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, it does.
So, when I look at this, there are a couple things that come to mind. One, infrastructure is the number one problem that this county has in terms of how do we pay for it. The board has asked the citizens of the county to pay more in taxes to support that infrastructure, and I personally support that. But I have little interest in reducing the development community's contribution when we're asking our citizens to pay more. So I'm not going to be in support of reducing this proffer.
Do all of you have, any of you have questions of Mr. Altman or the applicant? Okay, none. Likewise, I voted when we had the first onslaught of proffer reductions come before us. I vehemently opposed them, and I still maintain that I will not, vote to reduce this proffer. So, just wanted to make that clear, especially being that we just had a report that home building and sales in Powhatan are booming. So, I don't think that's a wise decision. This is in your district. Would you care to make a motion?
Can I just share as a side comment? We turned down a project last meeting, I think it was last meeting, the meeting before, because we were concerned about the completion of the road and the plan around the road, but it went to the Board of Supervisors the next month and they approved it. So we are sympathetic, I think, as a planning commission to this happening across the county. And I too don't support the proffer reduction personally as an issue, because it's new development bringing new infrastructure issues, and that needs to be handled and taken and shared. But I agree county-wide for existing development on a tax increase, but this is a problem.
Mr. Altman, to address some of these guys' issues, who should they be discussing getting their, I know it's not a part of the proffer issue, but
Right.
just to kind of maybe alleviate some angst here.
The commitment on the road.
Yes.
And where are the bonds?
Yeah.
Status of the bonds, I guess, what I would be
Yeah.
interested in, and 17 was the time frame, that type of thing, I think is what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can talk with us, staff. We can look at the bond and we can provide the data on the 17 piece with the state code. As far as getting a commitment, obviously, as Mr. Cox said, that's a little bit separate issue than from
Yeah,
what
it's
we're
just
here
separate.
for.
It's totally-
So I would think that
Mr. Melton has been heavily involved in this and is, okay, and that is where I would go. I would continue that dialogue.
Yeah, we're not skirting your
Exactly what I was
issues.
gonna
It's
suggest.
basically just, it's not really the case before us. We can't really do anything about that tonight. So, all right. So, proceed, Mr. Mr. Cox.
I move that the commission deny case 16-02 REZC. This motion is based upon public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice.
Any questions or comments on the motion?
Well, I'm gonna continue my opposition to it because the profits are a policy issue, and that's to the Board of Supervisors.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Thank you. All righty. I believe we have a private road.
Sean, as we get started, we've got another handout. What is the difference between the two?
the only difference is on page
36,
37
37.
or 36. 36.
36, yeah.
The applicant's name is incorrect.
Oh,
It should
okay.
not be David Bailey, it should be Stuart C. Reynolds. That's the absolute only difference.
Thank you.
All right. Private Road, case 1601 PR, Stuart C. Reynolds, tax map 261-1 and 261-1E. The applicant wishes to construct a new two-lot private road per the subdivision ordinance requirements, subject is currently zoned A10. This is the applicant's parcel, the smaller one in the center, and his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds, own the 120-acre tract. This is the zoning map. Here's a copy of the proposed new lot. It will be done via family division. This is a shot of the existing drive going down towards Mr. Reynolds' existing home. The measurement is basically a little over 10 feet now when I measured it, but we of course have it certified. They're proposing, as I said, via the family division. It will share an existing 30-foot wide access easement, and to prevent Mr. Reynolds from having to build a 3 to 5 lot standard road, we're going to require him to make this easement exclusive for the new parcel as well as him, because it was determined that if a easement crosses over a property and it's not exclusive, it would count towards the total lot count for that property.
Sean, if we could, this is a 2-lot.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we've got a 2-lot road standard. Why do we have to, I just don't understand why you have to have that provision. I don't object to it, I just, how can it get to a 3 to 5 lot standard?
Because it was determined by previous research in doing these that if an easement is not exclusive and it crosses over a separate parcel, it's basically being counted towards the total lot count for the private road.
Yeah, I remember a case that we talked about like that. In Western Indian County.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So as I said, the easement will be made exclusive, and we will get that documentation recorded with the new parcels. Driveway standard, typical driveway, 10-foot clear, 2 foot on each side. Subject property shown as rural residential and natural conservation on the countywide land use map. And this request for a 2-lot private road is in general accord with the comp plan. We had no outstanding concerns at this time. Staff has received no formal comments from citizens on this request. And therefore, we are making a recommendation of approval. The applicant is here if y'all have any questions, and I can certainly answer any questions that you may have.
Would the applicant care to make a statement? Thank you. This is a private road case. We don't have public hearings on these. However, we do allow public comment. If anyone wishes to speak, please come forward and state your name for the record. Seeing there is no one, we'll move on. Mr. Van Gelder, well, this is your district. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just not really any questions, just a statement that, I think we wrestle with private roads, and there's certain, in my belief, developments the standards should be much higher. In this type of situation, I think a private road is warranted, so I will support this, just to let you know.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Fine with it.
Jen?
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Thanks.
Just one question, Mr. Reynolds. Do you understand the proffers, the conditions, and do you agree with them?
He needs, you need to please come forward
I'm
to the mic
sorry.
if he has a question.
There's a list of conditions.
When you said proffer.
I'm sorry. No, condition. The conditions of the.
Yeah, and we're not, my dad's 88 years old. This is a 122-acre parcel, and he's actually got another parcel that's separate from this that adjoins this, so it's a total of 140-some acres. He's trying to basically gift something to his grandchildren,
Right.
and this issue came up. But I do understand that, and Sean will agree, we kind of had a heated discussion on this third parcel being a 120-acre parcel. But I understand what he's saying about it, and I understand why it's being done this way. And we do understand that if in the future the other grandchildren want a lot, then we're going to have to upgrade the road and do whatever's necessary at that point in time. So yes, I do understand what's going on.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Mr. Van Gelder.
I move that the commission recommend approval of 1601 PR. This motion is based upon the public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I think that's it for our public meeting. We will now move to our workshop.
I did want to let y'all know that with regard to the Virginia Solar case, we sent letters to all the adjoining property owners letting them know that the case was deferred, so
Okay.
no one showed up for the Virginia Solar case that was deferred. And you have copies of inserts for your zoning ordinance with the latest from Unicode
All right,
at your seats.
perfect. Move over in the other room.
Are we moving or staying?
We're moving.
We're moving, okay.
We got maps we can roll out,
Yeah, we're moving.
and the chairman